So welcome everyone to Team Tenacious team call, and tonight we're going to talk about steps for onboarding, basically onboarding challengers, discount coaches, and business builders, and talking about the different steps to take for which area or which avenue they would like to go. So when I say that out loud, and when I've said that out loud in the past, my brain needs like a flow chart. So I've created a flow chart for us, but I have been spending the day updating that, because when we're onboarding new coaches, it's been a process of tweaking. And what I just updated this flow chart with is what we found to work the best. So I want to use this call as a tool for all of us to check ourselves for veteran coaches and to see if we're taking the proper steps, but also for new coaches to see if you're actually doing these steps and following along with it as well. So these updated flowcharts, I don't know if you guys saw, I'm trying to create albums within our team page rather than files, because I feel like it's easier to share pictures within the photo album. So what I've been doing, the other night I was on a rampage, I was just sharing a bunch of pictures and files, but what you do is you go into photos, and then you click on albums, and you'll see all the different albums that I have listed. So this one right now, it's going to go along with this call. It's going to be onboarding steps for new coaches. I'm going to share this flow chart that I updated, and then I'm also going to share this call. So you guys are going to have this tool to check yourself for that, and then also to, like I said, the new coaches to make sure that they're taking the proper steps as well. So let me see if I'm going to do the screen share here so we can all follow along together. First, I'm going to mute you all, I think. If I can figure that out. Manage participants. Okay. So, do that. Let me do a screen share here. Desktop. So basically, when you have, this is going from the point of get that clicked. Okay, hopefully everyone can see that. Thumbs up, y'all can see that screen share. Cool. Okay, so this is going from the point of you've talked with the challenger. They've said, okay, I'm all signed up. And then these are the steps that you take to go from there. So we have two different options. Basically, actually, we have about 3 different options. I've updated that that option when you say, okay, well, here are the options that I like to offer for people for enrolling. You can sign up like a retail customer, you can sign up like a discount coach, or I've added that other one in there, you could be a business builder right away. So we have that script in there as well, which I'm going to make a note of that, to add that into this file. This photo album, I should start calling it, of onboarding new coaches. So then I have the 3 different options up here. So say they want to be a challenge customer, or they say I want to go with a discount coach, or they want to be a business builder. So what you want to do right after they say I'm all signed up is go through this next step, and like we do to check their orders, you go into your previous office view, make sure that if they're a customer, it has the number price there, and these steps of how to check your orders are in a file in the Team Tenacious page. But or if they sign up like a discount coach or a business builder, which is basically, we're going to say that's the same thing because it's a coach account. and you're going to go in and see if they have a 0 there, which means that they have signed up correctly as a coach. Then what you want to do after that is you're going to go ahead and add them into the challenge group, and you add their name into the add people here bar into the challenge group. And then hopefully in that challenge group, if it hasn't started yet, you can let them know, like, we'll be setting up the challenge group and we'll get you added in. Or if it already is started, then we'll either have a pinned post or we'll just have a, random like welcome post. So you tag them in that. Now this part right here is something that this number 4, when I was getting on one-on-one calls with coaches last week, it's something that I was like throwing out there with everyone. I'm like, okay, so this is something cool that you can add in. And I just did this with somebody today. She signed up as a discount coach, and I checked her order, and I was like, great, everything looks great on my end. And, I'm going to get you entered. Our challenge group already started. So I'm going to add you into the challenge group, and I'm going to tag you in the welcome post. And I said, if you have any friends or family that you would like to have join you in this challenge, then I can shoot you an invite that you can send to them. And then when they say that they're interested, then I can help them, answer any questions. So don't worry about that part. I can do all of that. And then I say, do you think that you would have any friends or family you would like to invite for accountability partners? And then the ball's in their court, like, I can think of, like 3 or 4 people, or, my best friend, or maybe my mom, or, maybe they have a couple. And usually it goes that way. I've only had like 1 or 2 people say, no, I don't have anybody I can think of. I'm like, well, you got to have like some friend that you would like to have do this with you. But, so then if they say it that way, you're just like, okay, cool. Well, here's the challenge group, and let's get going that way. But if they say that they have somebody that they would like to get started with them, then that's when I kind of jump to that step, and I give them the script of the 3-way message stream, which is also in the TeamTenacious files section. So you can read over that and reach out to your upline. If you're a newer coach, probably everyone on here actually went through that with your upline coach, so you may be familiar with it. But that's a great thing that I've been adding as soon as I find out that the person has been signed up. So that gives either you a boost. If they signed up as a customer, you can add that to your Success Club points. Or if they signed up as a discount coach, you can help them to get them signed up under them, and maybe even get them to be Emerald right away. We just did this with Kim. She's like, oh, I have my friend or her cousin. I'm trying to keep them both straight, but her cousin, maybe Mary, that just signed up, and then she was telling me all about it. And then she's like, okay, now Mary's friend Michelle wants to sign up. I'm like, okay, well, Mary signed up as a discount coach, so let's get Michelle signed up under Mary. So that's what we did. So now Kim has half an Emerald within her organization already. So I just wanted to, that's the part that I added into here on this flow chart. So next, they're added into the challenge group, and we start getting them going with that. If they want to just be a customer, pretty much, then you're just going to follow along with this red part right here. They're in the challenge group. You're going to coach them just as they're a challenger. Now, these next 2, what I want to be sure what I'm hoping that we start to do is that we get into the system of where I have a welcome letter that you send out to your discount coaches. And in this welcome letter, it's going to, welcome them to the team. And then it's going to give them options of which kind of coach they would like to be. Would you like to just stay as a discount coach? Would you like to be a hobby coach? Maybe invite a couple people here and there. Or would you be interested in being a business builder? So I want us to try and really get into the habit of doing this within the first 24 hours. I mean, you can do it right away, But I think that if we really get into this and we don't discriminate, you know, thinking that they're just going to be a discount coach, I think we're really going to take, I know I've said this before, but I think it's really going to take, you know, your business to the next level and get it into their brain like, oh, maybe I could, you know, invite some other people. And maybe if they don't say it at that moment, then at least they'll be thinking about it for the future as they're doing their challenge group. So this is another thing that we have as a file in our TeamTenacious page. So just wanted to make sure that we get into the habit of doing that and sending that letter out right away. So then over here, then you kind of go from there, like where they want to go. And also what I wanted to say too in this welcome letter I just learned, I think something that I would be really beneficial for us to add into that welcome letter would be to talk about like, here's our team page. And if you would like to be added into our team page, or, you know, if you'd like to schedule a one-on-one call, like I got to figure out something where they read that letter and they respond either with, I want to be this type of coach, or they either, you know, can do a link and they can get right into the like Smart Start Fast Track training, somewhere where we know that, oh, okay, they're ready and they're serious, and then we can take that next level with them. So I was kind of a little off note there, but that's something that I want to add into that letter, because they could either just respond back to what kind of coach they want to be, or if they don't say anything, then you just go over here and you treat them as a challenger. So let's go with the part of they say that they want to be a business builder. So the other thing that we just added in, and I feel like it's been going pretty well, is the Smart Start Fast Track training. And the reason for this fast track training is because this is where it begins that you're going to start your one-on-one mentorship with this new coach. And within this fast track training, it's going to, it has a welcome video and a welcome post. So they say, okay, I want to be a business builder and I want to get started right away. Then let's get them into this little intimate one-on-one mentorship before we throw them into a Coach Basics and before we throw them into a team, like all the team pages and everything, and overwhelm them. Let's just help them do these little baby steps first as we guide them. So that's where it says give them the option of going through one round as a challenger or getting started with the fast track as soon as possible. So then you can go either way here. And you kind of want to listen to what they want to do here, because also when I was getting on calls with coaches and they were telling me about their new coaches that they signed up, they're like, well, you know, they just want to go through one round and work on themselves and get that under their belt. I'm like, that's totally cool. I totally agree with being a product of the product first and learning that, and let's not try to do everything all at once. So now you go here with the complete your challenge first, and some other little points here that I want to be sure that you go over is even though they say that, you still can guide them to get a good following started. So you can let them know like that's totally cool. Let's go with that. Find out what their goals are. You're kind of thinking like they're a challenger right now. And then the thing that you want to let them know though is you can start building a following. You can start to build a following right now. So give them some tips about what they can do on their social media platform. So say something like, you know, when you get your challenge pack and you get your program, I want you to lay that all out on the table and let everybody know like you're so excited about starting this new program and getting in this challenge group, and you know, shout out your goals and you know, let everybody know about that. And then when you know, have to sit down and plan your eating plan out, you know, it's probably going to take you a couple hours to maybe do that at first, but you know, share that with people and let them know like that you're working on this. And then, you know, just keep sharing and posting about how your week is going and how your workouts are going, and share a snack that you found that works or a great recipe that works for your family. Because when they start doing that, they're already going to start to build a following. Even, you know, after their first week, say like how great you feel or how it's changing your life or how it's working into your life. So that's the other little thing that I added here. They say they want to be a business builder. Maybe it's a little too much to go like into everything with the training. Cool. Let's just do the challenge first, and let's work on getting you some results first that you can share. But you can still work on building a following and building your business while you're doing that. So I feel like that's where we can really guide people, guide new coaches to do that while they're doing their challenge group. And then the other little tip here is just to make sure that you let them know to keep adding people to their network, and keep writing down people that they think would, you know, they would want to invite after they're done with their 21-day or whatever they're doing, their 30-day, 60-day program. So by the time that they're done sharing their journey, and when they get to the point of where they're going to invite people, like it's not going to be that bad because people are already following them and they're really already building a trust. So that's that little leg there. The next leg, like say they're like, let's go, let's run with it. I just ordered my challenge pack. I'm going to be a business builder. I'm going to start inviting people. You know, they say they want to do that, then you run with them and you do that. And then that's where the fast track training is really awesome for that, because you get them in there, you help them get their, you know, website set up and their EFT set up. And then right away you get on a one-on-one call and you're like, okay, let's go over some people that you would like to invite. Let's talk about, you know, the next steps for you to take within this fast track training. And basically what you want to do is you want to be sure that you guide them in the next steps that they're going to take in this fast track training, and kind of give them a vision of what they're going to do and how you're going to help them and how that's going to work for them. So, you know, if they're going to run, then you can run with them on that. The other little side note I wanted to be sure that I say about this here is, I feel like we do so well with these steps. Like, you guys are going to have new coaches, and then they're going to do this, and then they're going to have a coach right away that may want to do this, but maybe you're such a new coach that you might not be good at going over that fast track training with them and giving them a game plan right away. So I think that setting up a 3-way call with your upline sponsor and that person that says they're ready to run is pretty beneficial until you feel like you can really lay out a good game plan for them on your own. But I'm finding that the newer coaches are doing all of this so well and so fast, but you get to this part of mentoring and guiding the new coach, and it's kind of getting stuck. So I feel like we should, as an upline coach, guide our sponsor's sponsor into that next step, if that makes sense. So going back to before I flip the page here. So you have your business builder rocking, and they're in the fast track training, or they're in their challenge group, and then maybe they go back to their fast track after they're done with their challenge group. But let's say you go back over here to your challenger. They're going through their first week of their challenge group, and they could either be posting a lot or not posting a lot. Regardless, I still feel that it's important to, after the first week, to reach out to them privately and give them this message. And the example is, hi Sam, just wanted to check in with you privately and see how you're doing after your first week. How are you doing with your eating plan? How are you doing with your workouts and your Shakeology? I like to actually build that up a little bit. Like, how are you loving your Shakeology? You just basically want to see how they're loving everything and if they're doing well with it. And if, you know, sometimes when you reach out privately, they're going to ask you more questions or open up to you more. And you can guide them along with something they're struggling with, or maybe they're doing great, which is where you get to the love it. And they're like, I'm doing great. I love everything. Love the Shakeology. And then that's when I say next, I'm like, that's so awesome. I'm so proud of you. And then I like to bring up, like, are you going to want to stay on track with the Shakeology and keep going in the next challenge group? You know, maybe I say this in the second week, but regardless, you want to find out how they're loving it and if they want to stay on track with it. And we can, the objections pretty much answer themselves here. I can go back through that, but let me try and get to the next flowchart piece here, if I can figure this out. So after, let's keep going with the business builder because I updated that part of it. It's right here. Can you guys see that part? I brought that up on my PicMonkey though. No? Okay, let me try this. Stop share. Share screen. Okay, now? No. Can you see that now? Yeah? Cool. It's still up in my PicMonkey. Okay. But now this is where, like I said, we've been tweaking this onboarding process. But I just updated all of these blue boxes. So if you have, like I have mine printed out over here, I'm going to throw that out and I'm going to print out this new one. Because like I've been talking about, we have that Smart Start training where we're going to put them in and baby step them and one-on-one mentor them before throwing them into all these other groups and Coach Basics. So now I have to add them into the Smart Start Fast Track training page. And then there's a welcome post in there and it has a welcome video, and then it kind of outlines what they're going to do in these next 7 steps. And it even gives them a checklist to print out and you know, go through as they do the 7 steps within that fast track training. And then, like I said, this is where your one-on-one mentoring begins. And you want them to get started with the first steps, which is the, like I said, getting the business quick start printed out, getting their website set up and their EFT set up. After they've done that, then you want to get on a call and go over more of their business quick start that they've filled out. So here, what I like to do is talk about their why, talk about their scheduling, talk about when they're going to work this into their life, how they're going to time manage. I like to ask how their spouse is with support. I like to share about how I helped my spouse to be on board, which is I had to learn to make a schedule and make my own business hours and show where I was going to do my work and I was going to do my family stuff and I was going to do my time with my husband, and let him know that that's what I was working on. Then what I like to do is go over the next steps that are in that Smart Start training and let them know, like I said, this is our plan for you and this is why we want to do this. So our next thing would be, you know, I'd like to announce you as a coach. I'd also like to have you get your story out there. We can make it a Transformation Tuesday story or whatever you want to do. Then there's other things like getting their Facebook set up and tips on that and tips for social media. So I like to go over that that's the other steps in the Smart Start training, and let them know, hey, I'll match your speed. If you want to run with this, I'll run right along with you, but it's up to you. So, but I've also noticed too that once I have a new coach started and they start doing their posts and we've maybe announced them as a coach, they have some other people on board with them, and I'm like, okay, this person needs a little boost. So let's get their Transformation Tuesday story out there and really make that rock and get them some more, followers and attention. So they could say, yeah, this sounds great, and I want to do all of this, but I just kind of give them a little push, I guess is my point there. So again, you're just mentoring and guiding them. So then I feel like once they get done with that Smart Start training, and when they're done with that, that means that they have done the 7 steps and they've watched the new coach webinar, which Julene and I are filming soon. But for right now, we have one that we've been using with other top coaches, but Julene and I are going to have our own for our own team. But that just kind of gives, like, your head is spinning when you're a new coach and you're trying to even think about all of this posting, and I'm trying to figure out my program, and I'm trying to figure out these conversations. And then this new coach webinar is really cool because it kind of brings it all back and breaks down these are good and bad posts. These are places where you can find resources for answers, and there's a bunch of awesome information there. So after they've done all that, I like to jump on another one-on-one call with them and let them know about the plans for getting into, about this point, it should be their 2nd month. And I want to go over goals for their 2nd month. Hopefully in that 1st month, I should have said too, within that first call, I go over success starters and Success Club and how important that is. But then in the 2nd month, I want to talk about adding them into Coach Basics and talking about their goals for their 2nd month as well. Maybe they want to become Emerald, or maybe they're already Emerald, so they're going to add 4 more coaches for the next month. Maybe they're going to have Success Club 10, but I make sure that I always ask them what their goal is, and I'll give them a game plan to reach that. So now we're going to get them added into Coach Basics, which I've been posting about, that we're going to get that all set up for our first one for May. And I would like to have that be first Monday every month. Boom, we know that it's going to start. And then within that Coach Basics, it's going to be a 2-week Coach Basics. So nothing too lengthy. But within that, there's going to be weekly one-on-one calls. So that means 2 one-on-one calls within that new coach. And I feel that this is pretty crucial because you can't just throw somebody into a training and not have weekly calls to kind of hold them accountable, but yet let them have that opportunity to share with you really what they're feeling and struggling with and doing well with and their questions. So that's the goal for Coach Basics. And then the next part is, our other goal is to have, after the Coach Basics, I feel like it's a good thing to have them into a next group. And this could be like an Emerald to Diamond type group, and there could be qualifications to get into there, like you must be Emerald, you hit Success Club the month before type of thing. So that could either be in their 3rd month as a new coach, or once they hit those qualifications. So I feel like all of this, from the very beginning of when they sign up and they say they want to be a business builder, could be within 3 to 4 months of their first initial new coach time. So that is my plan for all of that. And hopefully all of that makes sense. And then going back over here to when they say that they, so now we've talked about with the customer, and we've said that they love the Shakeology. So perfect. I'm so excited that you want to stay on track with Shakeology, and I actually could help you save $20 the next month if you would be interested in that. And that's pretty much all I say. And usually they will say yes. And then what I like to do is send them more information about the breakdown of that. You know, basically it's just $15.99 a month, and you'll save 25% on all products. And we can even change your Shakeology flavor, all of that. So it would just be a simple email that I send you the link, and you can get your account switched over since you bought a challenge pack. And it's free. You don't have to pay for the coach fee if they bought a challenge pack. So then they're a discount coach, right? So now you even want to get into the habit again of sending them that welcome letter, discount coach. Because, you know, like I said, they could be like, you know, I'm just going to stay for the discount, and they could get back to you and say that, and that's fine. But at least you put out that letter saying, you know, here's your options. You could just be a discount coach, or you could be a hobby coach and invite some other friends, you know, a couple friends every month. Or you could really run with this and be a business builder, and they kind of know in their mind that, hey, that's even out there. So that's how that all starts over. But obviously, if they say no, thank you, then you can let them know how they can cancel that. Or you have the few that just stay as a customer account. So hopefully that, I feel like I just ran right through that, but hopefully that flow will help everybody to understand what we can do when they say that they're all signed up, you know, customer or discount coach or business builder, and we can help them to start building their business fast, or match their speed, or just keep them as a customer. You know, I feel like I broke down all the different options on how to go with that. I wanted to go over the objections part of that though, real quick, and then we can be done with that. So can you guys see this? Yeah, okay. So just real quick, the last part of this call. So when you have somebody that you're chatting with and going through everything, and they really want to do it, and then whatever happens, they don't sign up. They have either they don't get back to you, or they have some kind of objection. And I want to be sure that if they have some kind of objection, that you guys get used to checking the list of objections, like the scripts that we have to help with those objections. Usually it's, you know, time, or it's money, or it's Shakeology or something like that. Or post in the team page about, hey, I just got this, like, how did you guys handle this? Or, you know, you can reach out privately to your sponsor coach if that's something you feel more comfortable with. But get used to doing that step, because don't just give up at that point. Like, I've dealt with so many objections, and I've let them know, like, I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way. Do the feel, felt, found, you know, and this is what I found that worked for me. And there's only so much you can do. They're still just not going to go for it. Budget, time, something. You got to step back and feel it out. So like it says here, if they say not now, say totally understand. Can I just put you on my list to follow up with you for the next challenge, or for our next free challenge? 99.9% of the time, they always say yes. So be sure you have your follow-up list, and be sure that you follow up, because the magic is in the follow-up in this business. I just did the presentation at Super Saturday, and as I was researching, it's something that I heard before, but it takes 7, excuse me, 7 reach outs, follow-ups for average for a person to actually go ahead and join or do, like, either be a coach or be a, be a challenger. So don't feel weird that you're after the third one or something, that you're like, oh, I'm bugging this person, because people just get busy, or it's, it's just not the right time, or, in 3 or 4 months, it will be the right time. I just reached out to one of my grade school friends as one of my connects 3 months ago, and we started chatting. And she's like, so I've been seeing all these things about your challenge groups, and I really want to try one of them, but I don't even know what they're about. Like, tell me about it. And her life is so crazy busy. We just now today got her signed up. Like, and that was definitely 3 months ago. So, and that was just me, like, following up with her and, hey, how you doing? And how's work going? And I see you're traveling here, and talking about her posts. So that was the tangent on the follow-up, but the magic is in the follow-up. So make sure you keep her on the list, keep them on the list, and you follow up with them. So I think it's great to invite them to a free event next, and then they go through that, and you can get into private message and chat with them more. And then usually within that challenge, with our free challenge groups, we have an offer to, continue and get into our paid challenge group. And maybe they don't even, they're not ready to do it after that. And I think another cool thing to do is you follow up and you send them some kind of message that is something that you guys talked about before. Like, I have a girl that's a vegetarian, and she's a super busy mom. So I followed up with her, and I was like, I just came across this awesome link with these crock-pot vegetarian meals. I just thought of you, and I thought I'd send it to you. And she was like, oh, thanks so much. And I'm still thinking about your next challenge group. It's just super crazy for me right now. So that's another great way to follow up as well. And I guess I don't have anything else about the follow-up, but then pretty much after that, you're just going to keep inviting them to, now once you get to this point, it's not so, weird, I would say, because I kind of feel weird if I didn't have a relationship with the person first. It's not so weird if you go ahead and send them out an invite to your actual next challenge group. I was listening to the wake up call from Monday, and I thought it was the coolest thing that she said. She's like, our business and building relationships, she said, it's like dating, like, you're not going to go out on the first date and ask the person to marry you, because that would kind of be weird. So you want to get to know the person and find out what they're about, and let them trust you, and go back and forth with that. So it does seem like, all of these steps that I just said here about the objection may seem, lengthy, and it's 3 or 4 months. Like, really, you're going to spend that much time with somebody? But I mean, it's totally much better than the messages that I get that people ask me right away to, donate money to their so-and-so, and like, I don't even really know them. So that building relationship part is pretty important, and it definitely will happen once that goes through those steps of the 3 to 4 months, for sure. 30, 60, 90 days. I like to say you're planting your seed. So that is the flow chart. Super speed, maybe not so much, 40 minutes there. Again, I want to post this call, hopefully to use as a tool, so that new coaches can check themselves to see if they're following these steps. And then also the veteran coaches can check to see if they're following these steps to help their new coaches get started. I'll go ahead and stop share. Anyone has any questions or anything to add? There's chat.
Oh, it was me blubbering away. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Just did this call? What call? The
Getting started right call with Amy tonight.
Sweet. You guys get to go over her why and
Yes, ma'am.
let her know the steps for what she's going to do through the Smart Start training.
Yes, ma'am. She's already gotten started in there. So
Cool. I think that it's such a, I mean, I learned everything on the fly. I don't even know if I ever went through a Coach Basics because I was so like, but for the other ones that we found, and probably some of you are on here as well, like if we threw you into a Coach Basics and tagged you in a Team Tenacious page and tagged you in a Team Aspire page, and you were like in a challenge group and you had 5 million notifications going on and you lost your mind, like, sorry.
Sorry, Becca.
Sorry. We're learning, you know, it's way too much, you know, like just take the 2 weeks to do a one-on-one mentoring with them, find out what their goals are, find out where they want to go, and give them a game plan to do it. And it's so much better. Then once you get into the Coach Basics, like then you're like, cool, because you know the terminology and you know what what COO stands for, and does everybody know what COO stands for? So, and you know what form means, and you know, like that kind of stuff, like to try and even understand what's going on in a Coach Basics all at once and try to get your challenge group or your transformation going too. It's just, so hopefully that flow chart helps. Like I said, I'm going to post that in the photos within an album in the Team Tenacious page, along with the link to this call. So it can be a tool for all of us to help everyone get started right. And just that other little side note, I think that it's really important once the new coach gets to the getting started right call, that pull in your upline sponsor for that if you're not comfortable with that yet, because there's points where your upline sponsor is going to be able to notice, you know, okay, let's try and get them to maybe baby step, or let's get them to fly with this, or they have some kind of holdback or objection. Like once you see your upline sponsor do it maybe 2 or 3 times, then by all means go and do it yourself. But I think that that's something that's holding us back from not getting our new coaches to fly right away. So that was one of the main things I wanted to bring up on that point. So I'm going to